They're not going to sue me. Okay. So let me get the stream going. And we got a couple of minutes still. Okay. So welcome everybody on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Now, I don't want the market to do what it's doing now. This is exactly what I don't want it to do. I'm not dying to enter early. I'm definitely not dying to enter early. You know, this morning, it is a short. I mean, I am going to go short. But I wait. I almost always wait till either 9:30 and a minute and a few seconds after, or if it's a magnet, then I sometimes would consider entering early. This is not a strong magnet for me. Even though, you know, if it pushed up, if it pushes up above this level or back up to this level, it's still not that as strong a magnet as it would be if that level hadn't been tested so recently. That level was tested less than a half an hour ago. It's just, I feel that it's going to test that low right before the open or at the open. I'm very comfortable the market's going to test that low. But our experience has been if we wait for the open, our success rate is still perfectly fine. We don't have to. Certainly don't have to go in before 9:25. That's not recommended in my opinion. I like to wait till as close to 9:30 as possible, if not 9:30. This morning, there's, you know, it has been pushing up, but I believe that this market, it's below the VWAP. It's a short this morning. That's our thinking. This what do you call this? 9:25 to 9:30. What do you call a time period that's in limbo? What's the word I'm looking for? It's like a twilight zone word. 9:25 to 9:30 is in limbo, but that's not the word description I'm looking for. Somebody out there probably knows what I'm thinking, but we're in the twilight zone. 9:25 to 9:30 is the twilight zone. No clue what I'm thinking. It's a time zone, like not in limbo. In limbo is the wrong word. No man's land. What's that's the concept I'm thinking. In limbo, no man's land. I'm just looking for a descriptive word. I can't think of it. So we're waiting till 9:30-ish. So, there could be a pop on this open. I don't always follow the VWAP because the gap fill is a very strong helper for a long. It can be. Friday, I think, was it Friday? Oh, see, now we're starting to get it so often does this. See, short is the way to go. It's going to test that low. It should. Now, I put the same setup on the NQ if I have time to load it. Or very similar setup without changing anything. I'm on the full size NQ on my other chart. Just labeling it full, and I'm going to wait till 9:30 no matter what on the full size. Once we're in a trade on the NQ, it takes a few minutes for this trade to take place. It still hasn't tested that low. So full size NQ, I'm going to take the first signal at 9. See, now I would take that full size NQ. Those are pretty strong signals. It's 9:30. So full size. So it hit the first target on the little NQ. Okay. Hit the first target. Did it hit the first target? Yes. So NQ can really be difficult sometimes. Look at the pop. So now we're looking for a 70 tick move in our direction, if we can get it. The full size NQ is a lot of risk. Okay. It's a lot of risk. Now, Chantal, did you enter short, and when and what time did you enter? If you did. Now it hit my first target pretty quick. But it's been bullish ever since. Now, full size NQ, I took the first short signal below the VWAP, never hit the first target. So just watching, you can't really, there's not a lot to do at the moment, right? We have a target. We have a behavior that we're expecting. So the big stop allowed us to survive so far. You know, if you hated the way the trade was trading, you could have hit the break-even button when it went below your entry. No law, you could hit the break-even button now and get out if you wanted to. We've seen that our patience is usually a virtue. Usually. Now, what if you waited for a test of the VWAP for your entry? Wouldn't that be a great place to enter? It's definitely, well, let's watch. I will not, I want to get ready for ISM because we're trading that live. So a couple more minutes. And I would want to be out of this trade before the news, the final services news. That's at 9:45. I think I'm trying to remember if it was yesterday or the Friday open. I think yesterday was difficult also. Pretty choppy for an open for us. So I'm going to probably exit early because I want to get ready for the next trades. Okay. So I'm waiting for it to go a little bit further. I put my stop to break even. Okay. The NQ, full size NQ stop at break even. So I would have been able to get out of both trades without a loss. And it looks like now it's going to continue down. That's fine. I mean, we have other things to do. That's why I'm doing it. No other reason. I would have stayed in the trades. So, but ISM is live. I'm resetting my platform. And, we can look at the video after if I have time. So that was, look, the NQ, it would not have been a loser today. It looks like it didn't hit the target, but you certainly had time to get out with a profit. We have been experiencing patience as being a positive, obviously. I'm going to reboot my platform, so bear with me. Not my computer. Let me put gold. Micro gold. Remember what I said about 930 trades? Just a quick look. CL. Big candle at 932, I think. There's good moves in so many markets at 930 that are trade worthy. If you don't like the NQ, you could look at gold at 930. You could look at so many markets. Everything moves at 930, obviously, because it's market opens. Right? When the market opens, everything moves. Okay, so let's get set. I said I was gonna. Okay, my charts are set. I'm just rebooting my platform because that's something I like to do. Anybody who traded the NQ open, you could let us know what happened to you. So here's our DMM. I'm going to check my time again. Check my time.is, and my time is in sync. Put the news up. So there is a report in 5 minutes. Putting the news up, 2 seconds. So market composite, it's final services. I had been trading final services as a breakout, but it hadn't been working. This morning, because I'm not trading it live, I'm just going to watch it. Let's just watch it. I'm trading a trap trade on ISM, and my tiers are going to be 20 and 28. It's what I used last month. We made quite a bit of money. 5 seconds before the trade, I'm going to put my orders on, and the time of the event is 10 o'clock. And my stop is 20. And I am going to trade it live. I'll put it on in a minute. I just want to watch the next setup. I just want to watch the market on final services. No, I'm not trading it, Chantal. It's a non-DMM trade. When I go through all the testing, it's been unbelievably inconsistent. And I don't like the NQ at this time of day. But let's watch the NQ. We had a range that we tested on the NQ. We have not had good luck with NQ range trades when they're not at 830. They haven't worked well. Uh, 944.58. So 945.03. If I make it, there's a range. Target of 15. I'm not going to make it. 25. 15. Stop. 35. Let's see if I make it. So just watching the behavior. So there's the behavior. So the range worked this morning. So Chantal's going to yell at me. Gold really not a good response, in my opinion. Not a good response to the news. Okay. Not a good response to the news. Okay, let me put on our gold trade reset. MGC. So depending what your bracket would have been, it might have survived a bracket to be a short trade at 945. It would not have been a good trap this morning, but the testing hasn't been good on a trap on this report. So let's go over the setup. The setup I used last month that worked on ISM, and it worked even though the breakout worked, it's pretty big tiers. That's the key. It was tier 1 of 20. Let me make sure it was 20 and 28. So if it's a small move, it'll definitely only fill the first tier. It won't fill both. And I'm doing the trap because gold has been very difficult on breakouts. I mean, we've been seeing it over and over. Gold has been poor on breakouts. And we've been having better luck with quite a few of the traps. So my tiers, 20 and 28, the time of the event, the trade time is 10 o'clock. Activation, order preparation in seconds is 5 seconds. Stop is 20. Trap. Checking my time sync. One more time. Now, last month, ISM services, the bracket is 6. It's a very small bracket for these markets. I would use a 10 at least if I was going to trade a breakout. Trap was live on the left side. Whoops, have my audio on here. It goes up and it fills both. And then it pulls down, which is what you want to see from a trap trade. And it looks like the breakout would have worked also, which happens. You could get both to work. Sometimes that'll happen. The breakout, if you look at the DMM, bracket of 6, targets of 7 and 15 with a stop of 10. I'd probably go to a little bit bigger bracket. You're also at a new high. I'd probably go with a 10-tick bracket if I were going to insist on trading a breakout. Now, I realize that breakouts have been working in previous markets, but these markets are not the same right now. That's the truth. They're not the same. Okay? As they were in January and in December. Okay? Yes, this trade did start working as a breakout. And then when the market started changing in February, it got stopped. It did have a nice trade last month. And like I said, the trap worked as well. If you want to trade the breakout, my feeling is gold has been difficult. It's not that it's not going to work. It could work, but gold has been difficult. We saw it on Friday's jobs report. We just saw it. We see it on lots of reports these days. Gold is difficult. And it's definitely related to what's going on in the world. Currencies, interest rates, everything. Grains absolutely move at 9:30 also. And thanks everybody on YouTube for watching. Don't forget to sign up for our channel. Hit the like button. Hit the notification bell if you sign up for the channel so you know the next time we're streaming. So if I were going to take a breakout, I'd probably increase my bracket to 10 at least. Activation time is 10:59, 9:59:59. Targets, I'd go for targets of 7 and 30, being prepared to manage out of that second target if it hits the first, and a stop of 14. I'd increase my stop as much as I increase my bracket. Now, testing it on MGC, I don't think is that meaningful because MGC is not great for breakouts. Liquidity is not that great. But let's say we test it, a bracket of 10, a first target of 7. Now, I'm not going to manage this trade or even pay attention to it because I have a real money trade on the other side. Let's say a 15 stop, targets of 7 and 30. But it will give us an idea if the breakout, how the breakout looked. 9, 59, 59 is the entry. And we can label it breakout. So my trap trade is live. We made over $300 last month on the trap. Now my tiers, they're not small. They're 20 and 28. One more time, my setup on the trap. 2 positions, 1 position, position number 2 is a position. Tier 1 is 20, tier 2 is 28. Time of the event, the trade time is 10 o'clock. And then activation preparation seconds, it's called sometimes, on depending what version, is 5 seconds. And the stop is 20. I would wait probably at least a minute for the trade to fill. Chantal, what happened on the NQ open? Did it wind up finishing the short, Mark? It did? It finished the short? Okay. Good. Two months ago on this report, it didn't work as a breakout. And did we trade it? Yes, we traded it as a breakout. And it filled and then reversed pretty immediately. So that was 2 months ago. And that was with a 6 bracket. Okay. That was with the small bracket. Maybe a bigger bracket. Maybe it might have kept you safe. Maybe. So I'm paying attention to my trap trade. So we're just waiting. We have 2 minutes to go. Waiting for the news, ISM services. And so I'm testing the breakout, bracket of 10 on the right side, targets of 7 and 30 with a stop of 15. Anybody trading with me live? Anybody trading live on this report? Anyone? Hey, TJ. Which trade are you doing? Trap or break? Break? Okay. Let me know what happens. All right, so we're waiting. The news is going to come out. We'll be back also at 4 p.m. this afternoon for API. So the news comes out. It's matching 58.5. It's not matching, but it's not gigantic difference in the news. So my gut feeling is that our tiers are too big for the news today. I think my tiers are too big. We'll see. Okay, so you got to give it a minute at least. And now the decision is wait and see if it's going to fill that second tier. Okay, it might. If it fills the second tier, see, I'm waiting. I don't think we're going to get this much profit. Okay, if we get profit at all. So I'm short, but I'm waiting to see if it fills the second tier. If it just starts going down, then I will cancel my outer tier when I'm in a place where I can move my stop to break even, which is not yet. I'm not quite there yet. So I'll put my protection one tick, and let's see if it can get us 120 bucks or so. It's not a great move, okay? Not a great move. I'll trail if I get the opportunity. Okay, no matter what, I'm just trailing one tick. I can't lose no matter what. Okay. But I may not make much money. Because we're just not getting good behavior. I'll make $20 if it keeps going up. It's just not dropping with, okay, so I made one tick. I made one tick. It just didn't give us the behavior of a trap. Okay, it didn't. Now, look, maybe it'll drop still, but it doesn't look like it is. Now, it looks like you could have survived the breakout, but I'll ask TJ because he traded it live. It's completely different if you trade it live versus a sim. Okay. The trap, it really never got more than like a grand total of 10 ticks. The tiers were too big. And I think going forward, I was thinking the tiers would be too big. But because of the history of the report, having so many breakouts, even though the markets haven't been breaking out well, it's always a concern if the previous history is showing a lot of breakouts. You want to protect yourself with bigger tiers. That's one of the reasons you use bigger tiers. But I think if we used something like 16 or even 15 and 19, it probably would have been better today. But it's okay. I think going forward, we could probably use a little bit smaller. And TJ, you were able to get 6 to 7 ticks, right? It sounds like the breakout worked. So neither trade was a loser. Neither trade was a loser. The breakout was making new highs, okay? So I'm just watching. I'm just watching. It would have hit your first target on the breakout. So, maybe this trade is safe to use as a breakout. I mean, that could be the lesson that we use. And obviously now it's dropping like 4 minutes later, it's dropping like a stone. So we could have made, it didn't really challenge our stop, our main stop. So it's too bad. These traps, I think the rule has to be just leave the risk on. Don't move the stop. Don't move the stop to break even unless it's after 4 minutes. I mean, that's what we're seeing. These trades are working really slowly. We're starting to see them work really slowly. They're filling, but I think we're better off leaving them on, especially if you only get one tier filled, right? Because we could have possibly taken advantage of this. It didn't hit our stop. It didn't hit our stop because our fill was right here, okay? It never came close to our stop. So we could have, if we waited 4 minutes, the trap worked. It worked. And I still like the trap. I think the trap is on these reports right now with gold behaving the way it's behaving. The traps, even though I didn't get a lot of profit, there was profit to be gotten. If you're willing to wait longer, I have to wait longer. And that's, that'll go in my journal to wait, 3 to 4 minutes. And that'll be my note to myself. Bigger profit. So there will be more traps in the coming days. I don't think there's any big ones this week, but there will be. Retail as a trap coming up. And also there's a couple others. So I'll make sure that going forward, I don't move my stop so fast on the traps. and that'll give us a better opportunity for profit. So, any questions, folks? Any questions? We'll be back at 4. We'll be back at 4. So I'll see everybody this afternoon. We'll be back at 4. Thanks everybody on YouTube for watching. If you would like to join our trade room on YouTube, let me just give you a quick link. You can always join our trade room by going to www.jointhetraderoom.com, www.jointhetraderoom.com. Why not give us a like before you sign off and join our trade room, and the trades won't be delayed. Okay, everybody. So I'll see everybody at 4 o'clock for the API. See you all later.